Do you want me to start?
Sure.
Hello, and welcome to our conspiracy theory video. I'm Karina Vargas,
And I'm Nick Duke.
and we're going to be focusing on the simulation theory, which is a conspiracy about it argues the reality that we live in and that we are kind of in this simulation controlled by a computer or an intelligence much greater than us.
And if you've seen the movie The Matrix, this is very much where the theory comes from, or the movie comes from this theory, vice versa. So when we talk about the who in this theory, we're talking about us as like our civilization, and we are being controlled by some kind of supreme intellectual beings. The what would be um,
That we are in like a supercomputer. So it's like far away or wherever it is that we are being controlled and we're actually not in control of us. This is kind of just like in our brain and our imagination type of thing.
yeah, and then for the when, like there is no real way to tell because we could have been living in multiple simulations over and over if it keeps failing. So the when is just us, our brain right now, like what we are living at the moment. And the where would be here on our planet, the society that we live in, I guess. There's no, they, the simulation theory kind of says that there could be other civilizations being simulated, but we have no idea about knowing if
Mm-hmm.
that's the case. So we only know us.
And we know that this is kind of like a continuous as well. Like it's still happening, and since like technology continues to evolve, and like he said, like it has, we don't know if it's failed in the past or what is up with like the simulation, but that it could still continuously be going as new technology evolves and new technology comes to play in this. So the why, I guess, is we don't really know why this is happening or why like the simulation or this conspiracy theory is like ongoing. We don't know why it's happening. Like there's many possibilities. Like you know, the simulation could be based on they want to do world domination, or this is just like a whole science experiment to learn more about humans or other species, I guess.
Yeah.
It could also be like a political agenda where maybe there's, political parties who are in charge of this or know about other lives and are trying to work together and are part of the simulation, or just because, honestly. So it's still debatable.
Yeah, and lastly, there is a why that we are just living past versions of ourselves. So, for the three elements of the conspiracy theory detector by Michael Shermer, we have chosen number five, number six, and number seven to debunk this theory.
So we did number five, which is conspiracy encompasses a grand ambition for control over a nation, economy, or political system. If it suggests world domination, the theory is even less likely to be true. So, since this theory of like the whole simulation is kind of about world domination, or it involves the society, like all of our society, which are like 7.5 million people in the planet, so it kind of falls into that world domination category, which is why I feel like a lot of people aren't interested in hearing about it because they think it's not true. It's also about like the conspiracy theory of the simulation being behind like the government or a nation of people that we don't know of, like aliens for example, or something, and in which like the government could be working alongside them. And so that kind of makes it a little bit how do I say it, like it makes it
Harder
less
to
like,
believe.
yeah, it makes it
Yeah.
harder to believe, which is why the fact that the government is hiding this or working with other intelligent supremes could be the reason why not a lot of people think that this could actually happen.
Yeah, and on top of that, like it's hard to fall under a category, but like the idea that there is it, the human brain, like it takes a lot to process it into a computer, and for the fact that like you're trying to process 7.5 billion brain like consciences at the same time is like unfathomable, at least for us to think that there's a computer that can do that. So there's that plus like is there an intelligent race that can actually like have that kind of technology? How come we've never seen any sort of intelligent race? So like there's that like correlates well into how can like there be some grand ambition if we don't even have a computer to do that? So as you saw in that little clip from the Matrix of the farm, this is going back to number 5, how this technology of growing humans is like beyond fathomable, at least in today's technology, right? So you see this huge farm that is just full of humans, and that's like they're growing humans just to like take their energy or like what we produce, and because they need to live on that. So that's kind of one of the things that debunks the theory as well. So number 6 on the list is about how the conspiracy theory takes like a small piece that happens in life and then it shows that it's a huge piece, like part of a huge idea. So in this clip coming up, you'll see from the Matrix right now. So in that clip, you saw the deja vu with the cat, right? So in the movie The Matrix, when you have a deja vu, it's like there's a glitch in the Matrix where something happened, so like it went back to the last thing you remember and shows it again. That's how they get away with it. If you see that in real life, a deja vu, you know, there's scientists that debunk the simulation theory by saying that deja vu is actually just like a small seizure in the brain, which is technically just a like a misfire of your synapse, and that can cause like a memory false like information. So that's what gives you this feeling of I've been here, oh I've seen that, I've met this person, like, or scientists just say you're not paying attention, or you actually have been there and you have met that person, you just weren't paying attention. So like these are things to debunk what they consider deja vu in the simulation theory.
Okay, so the last theory, which is number 7, it says that the conspiracy theory assigns pretentious, sinister meaning to what are most likely innocuous, insignificant events. So, for example, like a small event could be like going out with your friend or going to dinner, or like she invites you to dinner and you have the option of saying yes or no. As little as that like event may seem, say for example you say no and your friend ends up being in a car accident, the simulation theory suggests that because it's everything is already calculated, your friend was supposed to be in that car accident and not you. So that kind of has like this effect of why people don't really believe it, because they think it's kind of just faith or luck that you weren't in that car accident. But the simulation theory suggests that, you know, everything is calculated and there's like mathematical equations
Like to
yeah, like an algorithm to like yeah, that chooses like yeah, whether you are going to say yes or no. So that kind of explains more of why a lot of people don't really think that it's true, you know, like
right. Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.